Tim and Tony podcast brings you
the Mild Manner Movie Review with your host, Tim.
And Tony. On this week's episode, we will be talking about Logan.
Are you not entertained?
Cool party.
Great Scott!
I have an army. We have a Hulk. People don't forget.
Welcome to Earth. I'll be back.
You play ball like a girl!
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Fucking spectacular.
I almost picked him.
All right, we will be trying something new this episode.
Yeah, trying to mix it up a bit. We're almost at 100.
We are, yes.
Might have to talk about what we're going to do for that.
I know,
Although
it
it's
might
already...
have to change that movie. I don't know. We'll have to figure something out.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to start off, instead of what new stuff we've been watching or doing this past week, we're going to do a little interview of each other and question each other on this upcoming movie.
Interview you. Yeah, sometimes that works.
Yes.
It's a tactic people use.
All right, so the first question, we'll each answer them, but I'll ask Tony, why did we pick Logan?
Why did we pick Logan? This has kind of been something we've done before, but we made a list of movies that we wanted to do. And kind of stemming from the last movie we did, we picked Logan. What else did we do?
The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
We did a couple DC
we
and a couple of
Dark Knight, Batman vs Superman, and Man of Steel. I think we put on there.
Yeah, and then we did Logan and X-Men 2.
X-Men 2, yeah.
Yeah.
So and then we threw that into just a randomizer online, and Logan was the winner.
Yeah, so that's the same answer, and it just happened to be
behind the curtain for everybody.
Just so happened to be Justin's, our past guest's, favorite non-MCU Marvel movie. So kind of worked out.
Right, it worked. the order there works. So then, what was your foray into X-Men? We'll kind of go general.
Well, the animated show was definitely my first.
The first X-Men.
X-Men experience.
Oh, actually, okay.
But I didn't think I think I got more into Spider-Man when those shows were on. But then when the movie came out in 2000, I had the motorcycle and the fake Statue of Liberty head with him you can put Wolverine attached to it and stuff. It was pretty sweet. So that was kind of
everything for it.
Yeah, and all of it was Wolverine stuff too, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
What was your foray?
But definitely the animated cartoon, like you said. And that theme still just. Whenever someone does the beginning, you're just like, yes, I remember that show. You don't remember too much about the actual show.
Yeah.
You remember the art style and the costumes.
Yes.
Those were okay, they're kind of accurate. I didn't read any of the comic books. I wasn't really into the comic side of things yet. I haven't really appreciated them yet. But it was definitely the movies, because that would be. And when you were answering, I actually remember that when. We'd get together with all my cousins. That's how we got watched. It was all right, or babysat. It's all right, let's go to the X-Men movies. So it was like that whenever they came out. We would go to them.
Yeah, I think I had the X-Men movies and the Spider-Man movies always came out in May. So I always had a birthday planned. So it was perfect.
Oh. No, you said you wanted your gift later. So. But I've had it picked out and planned for a while, so.
So you're just waiting.
I'm just waiting for it. I'll have to repackage it. Okay, so next, who is your favorite X-Men?
All right. Two different answers. Movie, Wolverine. I think Hugh Jackman did a very good job, but I love, this is a tough one. Between Nightcrawler and Gambit, I like both their powers.
Yeah, a little bit different than what's out there.
What's out there? Yeah. I'd probably go just from watching the show too. Gambit was awesome.
Yeah, he was.
That's my pick.
Okay, so you said Wolverine and Gambit. Let's see, from the movies, honestly, I think early on it was probably either Iceman or Cyclops. Like when they first came out, I was like, okay, yeah,
I like those two.
these two are the ones. And yeah, definitely Wolverine, but I was never like so into it like everyone else seemed to be. But so those would be my two, Iceman and Cyclops. Those would be my answers.
Nice. All right, favorite X-Men villains.
This one
This one I know instantly.
Yeah, I mean,
it took me 2 seconds to think
right
of
away.
my two.
I'd say Magneto, but to be kind of different, I might go. Sabretooth is kind of cliche, but I'm even trying to remember the movie. There's only been two villains, and those are both of them really, with the most emphasis.
Yeah.
Besides now with Apocalypse and
Dark Phoenix.
What? I couldn't tell if she was a villain. That's the thing. No one really made that clear.
I mean, Mystique used to be in the movies.
Right, but now she's good, even though this is pre the Mystique that we got earlier.
Yeah, I don't know. They switched
changed
the timeline so much.
Well, then I would go probably from the comics, maybe Emma Frost, but even they really didn't use her a lot in these either.
No, twice,
yeah. But I'm gonna go with Sabretooth for.
Sabretooth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Officially.
All right. My two. All right. So from like comics and cartoons and all that, it's got to be Juggernaut for sure.
Okay, that's a very good one. Yeah.
Just the way he looked, I feel like if he was ever in a video game, I always have to use him.
What was it, Marvel vs. Capcom?
Yeah.
Yeah, you always pick him.
But in all the movies, I think one of my favorite villains, he's kind of more of an anti-hero in this, but the Victor Creed Sabretooth, the Lee Shriver played.
That's the one.
That's the one. I think he was one of the better villains.
Yeah.
And that was the one redeeming quality of that movie. Besides Hugh Jackman, that was the one redeeming quality.
Them two together was like, oh, make a movie about this.
If
this
it just
is what
didn't,
we want.
Just didn't end the way it did, I think it would have been a fine movie.
They did talk about bringing him back, but
I know.
We might get into that later. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was our little test interview to see how that goes. So let's jump right into our first segment, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Hold on to your butts.
This week we will be talking about a future where mutants are nearly extinct and an elderly and weary Logan leads a normal, quiet life. But when Laura, a mutant child pursued by scientists, comes to him for help, he must get her to safety in Logan.
All right. We'll start with our top 5. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first because I think it is me this week.
Yeah, I know next week.
Next week it'll be
me.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how we'll do it. Starting with my honorable mentions, that it's a rated R movie. This is technically the second one, I think.
Yeah, Deadpool.
Because Deadpool was the first one. But just the fact that it was rated R, they were able to tell the story that they wanted to, and go the old man Logan route and get, swearing's cool and all that, but it's like more the story what they could do. I was reading like how the director was like, yeah, now I can make all the scenes I want to shoot. I don't have to be like, oh no, it's quick and short kid dialogue. Like you can actually have an adult conversation and stuff. And then my other honorable mention would be like the references to the previous films. So
Statue
like
of Liberty.
Yeah, the Statue of Liberty. And just kind of like the history between the two of them. Always like, when I found you were an animal and a cage fighter. It's like, that's directly from
That's
literally like the first scenes that we see. So it's a nice callback to that. And then my number 5 is the factory / the hideout fight when they're in Mexico.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, we're going to see Wolverine kick some ass. Then he gets beaten, you're like, oh shit, this is going to be different. And then she comes out of nowhere
and just destroys.
Just goes nuts, and it's cool to see. And then my number 4 is the casino scene when when
Charles
Charles has a seizure. It's like
I always thought it was Las Vegas. Like the
See,
first couple
no,
times I
I
watched,
think the first,
but
me too.
then I watched it this time and I was like, oh, Oklahoma City, like
Oh,
there's
the
a
middle of
casino
nowhere?
there? Yeah.
Which, I mean, I've been to Oklahoma recently, but we didn't go to the Harrah's. We were in a different part of town. But yeah, just the scene in general, like, I have a couple things later on specifically that scene, but just the way that it looked.
Visually,
like, visually from everyone else's perspective and what, like, inside the room and then the larger area. That was pretty cool. And then my number 3 is that I haven't seen it since it came. I think at least since it came out. When I went like then. 2 or 3 times. So it was a nice refresher to get back. Like, okay, this happened. This is what that means. It was just like, oh, okay, I really like this movie.
I really like this movie,
and I forgot how much I liked it.
I know, I need to buy this one.
Oh God, that's where I'm torn. I'm gonna one of my famous mini tangents, but it's like there's so many movies. Like I saw someone, I don't know if it's real or not. Someone created like the Infinity Saga Blu-ray set, and it looks so cool. I like that's gonna be.
How much did it cost you? Everything.
And that'll be the perfect. And you know what? I take the money. You've already got me probably.
I've already been looking to see how much they're gonna charge for all of them because I really want to buy them like right away.
Absolutely.
Because right now they're all like $20 a piece.
Right.
So
and
you know it's gonna be.
That's the thing. It's like there's a ton of movies where I'm like, all right, I want to buy them, but like on the shelf over there, half of those are TV series that I can watch on Netflix.
Yeah.
Although The Office, maybe not
Yes.
soon. We will see. But my number 2 is that the comics exist of them in the world. So it's kind of like a Deadpool where it's like, hey, yeah, you're breaking the fourth wall, but they're acknowledging it. And
it seems like, that they came out after they had saved the world a couple times.
It goes a step further, where even Logan's like, yeah, that's not what happened.
Yeah,
like, maybe a little bit, but none of the rest of this shit is real.
I did like that, and I always meant to look up. Were those real?
Those were real comics, yeah.
Okay, so Eden was an actual storyline in one of them.
Yeah,
oh, that's pretty sweet.
Pretty sure I read that. That was one of.
I have to find it in Marvel Unlimited and see if they have it.
Oh, I'm sure it should be on there. And then my number 1 is that it's a solid ending for the Logan and Charles storyline. For like those two characters,
close their arc.
To have them be together at their end is kind of like how it started, where it came full circle. You know, you get to see the storyline that you didn't think you'd be able to see, which would be Old Man Logan, and then you kind of get the tidbits of Charles is like he killed a bunch of people like 5 years ago or whatever. We don't really see that.
Killed 7 X-Men.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah, I think that's what they were saying. So I mean,
and they never go into who or
what. Yeah,
what happened.
What?
I wonder if they filmed
unless that's the end of this
flashback.
movie. The Dark Phoenix coming out, where it's just like, psych. Charles did all this.
Charles.
You really want to?
Yeah,
piss
but
it?
he's
you really
very
want to
young
piss everybody
there.
off? Hey, time travel.
Time travel's a bitch.
That's all. That's all you got.
They made it happen earlier.
But yeah, that would be my top 5.
Okay, solid top 5. All right, my honorable mentions. Oh, which I completely forgot I was gonna have you play this. Play the trailer. The very first one with the Johnny Cash.
Oh, the Hurt.
Yeah, it's Johnny Cash, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That trailer. Even I watched the second trailer and I was like, they're not playing that song. But then they play a different. I can't remember what the song is, but I was like,
I think it's another Johnny Cash song.
I don't know if it was. I know. It's gonna piss me off. I'll have to look it up.
See, this is what happens when we.
Yeah.
We thought it'd be go fine, and then.
But that first trailer was just awesome. The score to this is great. I mean, nothing, not like memorable like the Avengers, but
right,
like
it doesn't have
you
like its
know
own theme really.
Yeah, but when like just some of the background music instead of playing songs, when they have somebody composing it, sounds really good.
Yeah.
I'll go into one of the scenes in particular later. And then X-24. Like I don't know, I just did not see that coming. I feel like a lot of people said they did, but like I was very surprised.
Not at that point because it was granted it was only like 2 years ago, but even still, it was like, no, there's no way they're gonna.
And that one, and in particular, that one scene where Charles is like, I remember everything. And he thinks he's talking to Logan, but he's talking to X-24. And then X-24 stabs him. It's like, oh my God. Just go nuts. Yeah, but that was a nice touch. Number 5, the R rating. Just like you get, like, heads getting chopped off and he's putting his claws through people's heads.
Yeah, you're getting what you really wanted to see.
Yeah.
Really.
Then Professor X swearing is comical.
Now, is it because it was Professor X or because it was Patrick Stewart? That's
Patrick Stewart, I think.
That's the correct answer.
I could see him swearing in real life, though. I think it's because it's...
I think he does.
Yeah.
Because he could do whatever he wants. Because he's Charles Xavier and... Picard, yeah, whatever. I never watched Star Trek. Besides the new one.
Besides the new ones, yeah. Okay, so number 4 is the seizure in the casino. Did you have that trivia about it, right? Because I think I read something.
I have some about it. I have one piece of trivia about it.
Okay. Well, then we'll touch on that then. But I just love the fact that, like, it's like a play on, because I think they were going to go for something else, but it's a play off of how he used to be able to freeze time or freeze people around him. Remember in, like, First Class? And
oh, yeah, how
he
he
did
able
that.
to kind of, yeah.
He would do that every once in a while. Like, I think it was just like a cool play off of that. Like, now that his mind's going, like, it's much more intense than him just freezing people. Like,
yeah, there's an actual consequence to it instead of just like, oh, it's a cool little trick. It's like, no, that screws with people.
My number 3, I'm gonna switch this around. Is when they're escaping the Mexico hideout. Like you said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a good scene. I liked. God, what was it? When she comes out throwing the head is great.
You're just like, oh my, what is going on?
And there's so many people there. And I just love there's one scene where they're driving to get away and he runs into the fence. This might be the one movie where they don't just plow through it. He, like, gets stuck on it. Like, yeah, that's how things work.
Only if you're going so fast and the lock doesn't break. Like,
and then my number 2 would be just this story and the theme of the movie, like the Western type theme, like how Logan's the last gunslinger. He's one of the last mutants.
Yeah.
Taking out the enemies.
It's a different take on it, but it works so well with everything that they were trying to do.
And then there's one, I think it's like his after his like funeral or whatever that they have, like the score right there, like has a nice. It almost feels like it could be in a Western, like the way they composed that one. Just, I don't know, it's a nice touch. And then my number 1 is Wolverine going with the Berserker rage at the last fight, when he's just running through the woods and murking everybody, and then Laura jumps off his back and she's starting
like
to destroy
together,
people.
Yeah. You're like, oh my God, they're doing it.
Yeah, and then what took those kids so long to finally use their powers? Like, a couple of them did, but it took too long. But
you're gonna camp with a bunch of other kids. The first thing you should. Hey, do you have powers? Like, the first thing you should be talking
using
about.
all these. Yeah. Oh, and then like another touch, like for previous movies, the one of the kids, the dad was the from X-Men Origins Wolverine, the guy that does the lights.
Yeah.
He was in Lost. Dominic Monaghan.
Dominic, that is
something. I don't know.
That's the guy from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
He was in X-Men Origins. He played the guy with the. He like had all the lights working and the trains going and stuff. And
okay, yeah.
He like made the elevator go up for him and stuff. But that, I guess he was one of the donors or whatever.
Oh,
one of the kids.
See, like little details like that are perfect.
All right, but those are our top 5. So we'll move on to a few problems.
My problem is kind of, and like I said, it's not really a problem, and it's all over Hollywood anyway. There's no original ideas anymore, really. But I'm not saying that this copied off of anything, but I thought it was extremely similar to Stranger Things, where it's like, all right, you got to find the kid. There's someone trying to protect them, and it's
The
like a
kid
government thing.
Enhanced from the
Enhanced kid, you're
yeah.
trying to protect him. It's like an old dude.
All right, but I looked it up. This came out like a year after, if that. It was like a few months.
Stranger Things was 2016, and this was
But it
2017.
was like October 2016, and this was March 2017.
Right.
So they filmed right around the same
theoretically,
time.
both, yeah, exactly. Both were around the same time, and it's not like people in
But it
Hollywood
did
don't
have
know what's going on.
Yeah. It does have that feel. I can
where
see
it's
that.
like, right, the government's trying to find a superpowered kid, and
That escaped, yeah.
then everyone's trying to protect him, and there's a group of kids, and
There's this group of kids.
it's just very similar.
Okay, I see it. I do. I think that's a
Not
strength, though.
that it's a knock against
Yeah.
it, but
I'd say it's a strength, if anything, because that's a great show. And this is a great movie, so that...
well, like I said, I'm just saying it's like, hey, I watched this thing. I was like, oh wow.
If it was
why do
like
I feel
10
I
years
just watched-
before,
then then that would be even higher on my problems list.
then it would be a problem. They completely stole this.
How dare they?
Mine was that there was no Sabretooth. Because that would have been a crazy X-24. Would have been if Lee Shriver showed up
If it was
as
him,
like,
yeah.
but he's not talking or anything. Oh, you kind of need him to talk, I guess.
Yeah.
But we could get flashbacks of him.
Of them two together.
Yeah, and then
'Cause
he's just like
really,
a monster.
that's
now.
all anyone wanted to see was him and Sabretooth.
Yeah, because that would have been awesome.
Yeah, but so like with all movies, we don't really have too many
Actual problems.
Yeah, actual problems. It's more of a nitpick or like a funny thing that
Yeah.
someone else has found problematic. So we're going to be moving on to our favorite quotes. In my first one, which looking it up, it's like there's really not a ton of dialogue.
To quote.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like setup stuff or like referencing other stuff, so it's not like a good quote, but all the same. My number one is from Logan, and he goes, I think it's him and Laura. It's towards the
end.
towards the end, yeah.
They're in that like cabin.
Yes. Yeah, where they make it to the fictional Eden, but it's actually there, and he's like, oh shit. But he says, and it is better this way because I suck at this. Bad shit happens to people I care about. You understand me? And then she just kind of goes, then I'll be fine. Because the whole movie, you're like, oh, it's a father figure type. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, you know what? I'm done with this. You don't care about me. And the way she delivered it was just perfect. You're like, oh shit, go away.
Coldly.
Yeah. Coldly says, then I'll be fine. My number two is Logan again, because there's really only
Three
characters in the movie.
And two talk more than
More-
third.
But he goes, nature made me a freak. Man made me a weapon, and God made it last too long. So it's just kind of like, he's like, all right, I've had it with this. Like, I've done the whole healing,
Yeah. Ready to
regeneration, dead thing. I'm just over it. Just let it. Everyone else is pretty much gone, so just let me go. And then my third one. I'm trying to like set it up, but I forgot which one I picked. Oh, okay. So they're driving on the highway, and like a self-driving truck goes by. He goes, "Motherfucking auto trucks!" And Xavier goes, "Language, Logan, and you're screaming at a machine." Logan says, "Oh, what? She can gut a man with her feet, but she can't hear a few naughty words." Which is pretty much like her introduction is just cutting people open and just destroying guys. And he's like, "Oh, what a little bad word's gonna do anything? Doing hurt her anymore? Like, no way."
Oh, that's a good one. All right, my quotes. My first one was from Donald Pierce, the head of the Ravagers. Ravagers, right?
Yes, Ravagers.
As I live and breathe, the Wolverine. I just thought that was awesome. Like the first thing he says to him too. Logan just turns on, "Who the fuck are you?" Like instantly. My number two is Xavier. It's him and Logan in the people's house that they were staying at.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
2 days on the road, only one meal. He's like, and hardly any sleep. She's 11. I'm fucking 90. Like, we need time to relax. I think
We need
finishes.
to we need to settle down for a night at least.
Just one of those great Charles Xavier swearing. And then my last one is at the very, very end when Logan's dying. He's like, smiles, and he's like, so this is what it feels like. Finally embracing death.
Knowing he's not coming back this time.
Yeah.
Or, like, nothing's going to happen to where it changes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did like that they did he was kind of getting poisoned from within, from the adamantium.
Right, like
that was a good...
I forget.
It kind of sucked, though, because, like, that's one of the awesome
parts.
parts.
It seems to be, like, a Marvel thing. Because, I mean, Iron Man is a good example. It's like, hey, the stuff inside you is trying to kill you. But even, that's like a comic line where it's, hey, all the stuff that makes you super powerful is also killing you. So, you gotta be careful when you use it. Actually, this is totally a Marvel thing. Because I was reading the new, like, Marvel, the new Thor, the new Valkyrie or something, is Jane. Or, like, there is a storyline where
Jane Foster's Thor.
She gets the powers of Thor, but every time she uses it, like, she has cancer, but every time every time she uses the power, it accelerates it, so it kills her faster. But she's worthy of being it because she's willing to do that instead of just dying and, like, be cured. It's like some crazy thing.
They like to do that.
Yes, it's killing you, but you're a good person for it. Like.
That's funny.
Okay.
We're gonna switch it up and throw in some trivia right now.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus!
Mm-hmm. Well, that.
Well, I'm just not in general. But yeah, you're a dad. Every time I go through the time, it's like, all right, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, but no one's just clicking them.
I am the knight.
You are.
I am
I'm the one that.
I am
So I
the
try and do it, like,
commander.
the second after, so it gets in. Like, nice. All I hear, should just search all right.
Yes, I'm Batman.
Have it auto do it. This week the theme is Logan.
All right.
I do it before.
I'm gonna do it after and before. All right, we'll start with Who Am I? You're up first.
Yes, I am. And my Who Am I? Hubbada. I am known for With Nail and I, Hudson Hawk, Can You Ever Forgive Me, and Gosford Park.
Jeez. Shot in the Dark, is it the villain? What's that guy? Richard Grant?
It is Richard E. Grant.
He's the only one that I don't know from anything, so.
I was watching this was a while ago, but I was watching like an actors roundtable thing. I forget who was on it, but he was one of them. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And then it turned out to be him. Okay, some interesting facts about him. He is allergic to alcohol. Says he can have a drink and keep it down for about 10 minutes, but other than that, after that, he will be ill for 24 hours.
Coward.
Yeah. There's only one way to beat it.
I knew that's why he's a villain. It's called a hangover. Man up.
Deal with it. And then... I'm trying to find a good one instead of just something. But, we'll go with this one. He wears 2 watches. The one on his right wrist was given to him by his late father and his Swaziland time. And the one on his left wrist is set to British time. And then I'm going to just pick whatever the last one is. Counts actor Ian Charleson as a major influence as an actor.
Good one.
See, it's the odd facts that we want, not the obvious.
Not the obvious ones.
Not the obvious ones.
All right, my Who Am I? There are 4 things they were in. First one, Logan. Second one, The Office. Third one, Extras.
Yeah.
And the 4th one, Portal 2.
This is interesting because this was who excuse me, I was going to pick, but that's Stephen Merchant.
That is correct. In 2001, he, along with Ricky Gervais, wrote the screenplay and directed the first series of The Office on BBC Two. And then the other fact I have is that he is set to debut in his big screen. He's set to debut as a director for the first time on the big screen with Fighting with My Family, the WWE.
WWE movie about Paige.
Yes.
Also, another fun fact: the lip sync battle he started it. Like it was his idea.
Oh, really?
Like him and I think it was John Krasinski were like the first ones to do it probably not the first ones ever to do it.
Ever, yeah.
But like they popularized it at like a party or something, and then Jimmy Fallon got it, and he said he said it on an interview. I think on Graham Norton. He said it's like, yeah, this is my idea.
This is my idea.
So now on to some random facts about the movie. My first one, Daphne Keane, who plays Laura, was 11 years old at the time of filming, and so she was not allowed inside the casino, even with all the correct shooting permits that they had. So some shots were done with Keane on a green screen, and some scenes were shot in the actual casino with her body double.
I did read that one.
Which I thought as long as you're with someone... I mean, some casinos are like this. Where it's like if you're with someone over 21, then you can. Or if like it's a resort, then you can walk through. Or like if it's a hotel, you can walk through the casino to get to your room.
Yeah, but if you don't have to walk through your casino to...
Yeah, you're right. Some you do, but most you don't.
It depends on where it is, too, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know where they filmed
Oklahoma.
it. If they actually filmed it there, though, they could have filmed
That's true.
somewhere else where
they just didn't learn. But yeah, I just thought
Yeah.
that was interesting. It's like, hey, we've got all the other permits that you need. Like,
Yeah,
I'm sure they could only have like nothing running in the background or whatever. But it was just an interesting one. My second one, in the UK, the first wide release showing of this movie was at the unusual time of 10:23 p.m. rather than the usual midnight showing. This is a reference to the movie, including the character of X23. X is the Roman numeral for 10, and 23 for
23.
23.
That's crazy.
That was another cool thing there where it's like, yeah, you know what? We have the opportunity, so let's do it. And then my third one, this was another one where I'm like, you know what? I just need another fun fact. This movie and Doctor Strange are the only two Marvel movies to date to be shot with the Arri Alexa Mini digital camera.
I don't even know
Not
what that camera
sure what
looks
that
like.
camera is or does or how special it is, but there's only two movies.
Two movies that have done.
And they're both Marvel movies.
All right, my three random facts. While auditioning for the part of Laura, Daphne Keane asked director James Mangold if she could improvise her lines. After Hugh Jackman started his dialogue, Keane interrupted him by yelling at him in perfect Spanish, something that was later included in the finished movie. Her dedication for that scene during the audition was praised by Jackman and Sir Patrick Stewart. And that is a good scene. Like, you could tell exactly when I read that was watching. I was like,
exactly
that's the scene. Logan only smiles only 3 times throughout the movie. At the very end. Dinner with the family, and I don't know what the first one was. Or, I mean, the family one could have been the first.
Family one could have been the first one.
I'd have to rewatch it real closely.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention for the smile.
I'm not looking at his face, really.
Yeah. And the F word is used 35 times in this movie.
Only 35 times.
It just seems like a lot. You don't really notice it that much. I mean, I guess it starts with fuck.
Right, yeah.
And Patrick Stewart probably says it only, like, maybe 5 times.
Right, but when he says it is more... Because, like, when Logan says it, it's more like just in conversation.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay, he said it, but it's like, whatever.
Maybe the villains are saying it more, too. Yeah, but... All right,
compared to other movies where it's the only word.
Final thoughts of the movie.
Just definitely glad I got to rewatch it because it's been a while, and at the time it was probably the best rated R movie that rated R superhero movie that came out, and then
No, Deadpool was first.
Deadpool was first, so
They're very different.
That's
couldn't.
true.
You couldn't compare
And
them.
a lot of people were like, "Oh, this is the best superhero movie ever." False. Endgame is now the best superhero movie. But it's definitely one to see, especially if that's like one of your favorite characters. You know, to get to see a new storyline that you haven't seen.
And it stands well by itself.
Yeah, you don't need to
see any of the other ones.
Exactly.
And it is just a good, even, I mean, it is clearly a superhero movie with the claws and the, I mean,
Yeah, it's
it could
got
be a
all the
regular, yeah.
Yeah, but it could. You take that out, and it's just a guy with knives. Then,
Yeah.
like you just normalize it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like my final thoughts, I was going to bring this up in the theme, but like, I feel like this was not the start of the trend, but like, I think Ant-Man was, where like superhero movies are trying to do, because they had like a cookie cutter formula. And then like Ant-Man was like, we're going to do a heist movie, but it's going to be a superhero movie. And then this was like, we're going to do a Western.
With superhero
elements,
and
then what the new Spider-Man's like, we're going to do a John Hughes movie, but it's going to be a superhero movie. So like, I like that, and just to keep the genre fresh, and this does a very good job of that.
You can even throw Ragnarok's a comedy with
yeah, with
superheroes.
No, a buddy comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think is totally great for like reinventing it, so it's not you're just seeing the same 6 or 7 origin story movies.
Yeah, so
if not more. I mean,
yeah, and this does a very good job, and I'd like to see in the future more movies like this. Even just not even superhero movies, sci-fi movies, or taking on like a Western edge or
right. Well,
Western theme.
The last Western movie was
Magnificent Seven.
Magnificent Seven or Hateful Eight.
But it didn't do real well. Hateful Eight's close. It's
right, but
not like a traditional Western.
Point being, there really isn't anymore.
Yeah.
No one wants to do those anymore. They think it's all dead, but you kind of throw in these elements and
it switches it up a lot.
It
yeah.
does.
Yeah, but those are my final thoughts.
Yeah. So, along with switching everything up, we're going to move to recast some characters. I will start.
So you copied me.
Okay, there was really only. That was even the last one I did.
I was trying not to pick her, but there was.
I was gonna Google child actors, but then I'm like, no, that's a bad idea. Not gonna go down that route.
I was like going through my head. Oh no, I got it. I got mine. But I don't know if she'd work, but I'll change it. I know one child actor. I was like trying to think of movies like, what kids are in these movies?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I'm not gonna Google child actors.
No.
Because if you do, it's all like child actors from like the 90s who are now like 40,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, they were child. But my recasting for Caliban, I would do Paul Bettany. I was trying to find someone as tall as Stephen Merchant. He is 6'7". He is a monster.
He is very tall.
Because everyone else is like 6'4", 6'5". Like along the when you Google that, it's one or two people. Like
Hugh Jackman looks short.
Shorter than E.
Hugh Jackman's like 6'2".
Yeah, he's pretty tall actually. Yeah. All right, and then for Pierce, I did Tom Felton. I thought that would be a good
Malfoy.
based on his Flash
role. Yeah, he's they even kind of look similar. He's
That-
smaller.
That's
but
exactly why I did it. Like I went with the characters, and I'm like, all right, who kind of looks like that I think could do well. For Laura, I did Millie Bobby Brown because one, she was up for it anyway.
Was she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's same exact time.
Yeah. No, she was what? She's like 14, 15
I
now,
don't know
so
how
she
old.
was right around 11. Probably.
Yeah, when it came out. For Professor X, I did Terrence Stamp.
Yeah, but
I recognized the guy, but then I looked up everything he's in. I'm like, he's really not in that much.
Terrence Stamp.
Yeah. At least
Zod.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Besides that,
Besides that,
but like everything else, I'm like, this dude looks so familiar. Why can't?
he's just
There's
in.
nothing-
He's in a
just
lot
in
of
a bunch
things.
of stuff. Yeah. And then for Logan, I went with Jai Courtney. I wanted to keep like a.
An Australian. I just until you said that.
Well, I mean, and all the lists of like who could
should,
replace him are all short dudes with like
Tom
beard,
Hardy.
with short-haired guys with beards. So,
Yeah.
and they all look the same.
All right, I will go in the same order. Caliban, I went Marvin Jones III. He plays Tobias Whale in Black Lightning, so an actual albino.
Yeah, there you go.
I was either thinking of like very pale skinned people. I was like, you know what, I like him, and like we've
he can
heard him
totally
talk,
pull-
and he's
yeah.
funny, so I could see him doing it.
For sure.
Pierce, I went with Joel Kinnaman because I thought it was him when I first saw it.
You're absolutely
They
right.
look very similar.
Look very similar, yeah.
But I do like Boyd was really good, and I liked him in Predators.
Yes.
Or The Predator. Then I had Millie Bobby Brown, but you know what? I'm going to go with Abby Ryder Forston from Ant-Man.
Oh, okay. You know what? Okay.
That's the
I'll accept that because she's the only other child actor around that age.
Yeah, that'd work. And then my Professor X is Mark Strong.
Very good.
Had to choose him. And then
I can't say anything bad about that. Like,
no. And Logan, I went with Kit Harington from Game of Thrones. He's got that short, stocky build.
yeah.
He's got a nice flow right now, but we could chop it into a Wolverine haircut.
Get rid of that nice and quick.
But yep, those are my rankings or recasting.
Recasting. Now we're moving on to rankings, and we're going to do our top Hugh Jackman, our top Hugh Jackman movies.
Yeah, I should have just made it a 10, like I was gonna.
My list would be exactly the same.
I'm
Alright,
very
so
disappointed in you.
So am I. Don't worry.
So am I.
Um,
I'm gonna just do the plots of all my ones that you don't have on there. Just Andy.
that's okay. I know the general idea of all of them.
Andy Dwyer. Just explain them all.
Codename Eagle 2. Oh, thank God.
Oh my God.
All right, so my list is going to be number 2, Wolverine, Logan specifically, but just in general, the character
You should have just ranked all the X-Men.
I should have, but it'd just be Logan than the rest of them. So,
Okay. What's number 2 then? What's number 2 of his?
probably one of it. I kind of didn't mind Origins, or I think I'm thinking of the Wolverine. When he goes to Japan.
Japan. That was a good one.
That would be my second one.
Gotta go X-Men too.
Yeah.
That was even like an origins about him without
being
an origin.
Yeah.
Or a prequel.
Yeah.
Then the Wolverine.
Yeah, that's my order. I'm sticking with it. Gonna be a little controversial. And then my number 1, Van Helsing.
It's a weird number 1.
It's an odd number 1, but it's my number 1.
Okay.
And it works.
It works. It holds up.
It absolutely does.
I
How
don't
dare
think
you tell
I've
me
seen
that?
it in a while.
Kate Beckinsale.
I'll just watch Underworld.
Also true, but still.
It's like the same character she
It is
plays.
the same. Oh, and no, I was gonna say Gary Oldman, but then now I'm mixing movies. So
Alright.
yeah, that's my list.
My top 5. My honorable mentions: Eddie the Eagle with Taron Egerton. Yeah, he plays the coach.
Yeah, skiing one, right?
Yeah,
Or
the jump
the
one.
ski jump.
Ski jump, yeah. Then Real Steel with Evangeline Lilly.
Didn't know she
And
was
him.
in that.
Yep. For a little bit, she's not in a lot of it, but she's like his love interest, sort of. Yeah, but that was a good one. Swordfish, him, and I can't
Halle
believe you
Berry.
haven't seen this one. I'm gonna move that one up to 5,
That's fine.
and my honorable mention is Van Helsing.
That's fine. It's number 1 in my heart. It's okay.
But Swordfish is a great one. Terrible.
It's Halle Berry, right?
Yeah, and John Travolta. Terrible hacking scenes though, like
Okay.
just like them typing really fast. Number 4, The Prestige.
The magic one, right?
Yeah, this one was.
See,
The fact that this is 4, like this couldn't be number 1 on certain lists. Like,
it sucks because like just reading general things, I think the whole idea of it was spoiled for me. But it's still.
Yeah, if you don't know it, that's
Well,
a very
that's the
good
thing.
twist.
I'm sure I'd be watching and be like, "Oh, this is amazing!" Like I totally forgot what it even it was. But
The number 3 is Prisoners, with him and Jake Gyllenhaal and Terrence Howard. His kid and Terrence Howard's kid get kidnapped, and he like grabs this guy who he thinks did it and interrogates him.
okay, I think I remember that now.
Yeah, we were watching it.
Or like the trailer. Yeah.
We were watching it in college, and we had like all the lights. It's very intense movie, like very, very intense. And like his kids have been missing. We're like an hour in, and he's like questioning this guy, and he's like, this won't ruin anything, but he like locked him into like a bathroom and like closed off the shower, and he's like turning the hot water on him, and then turning the cold water on him, and like asking him where his daughter is. Like right in the middle of the scene, the one guy gets up out of his seat and turns the Xbox off. The movie was playing on the Xbox, so it just goes boop boop and then turns off, and the screen goes completely black. And we just look at him, and he's just like, got this stupid face, like, oh man, I fucked up. Like,
why would he get up and show him?
He was like, I saw that light on, it was bugging me. we had to get out of the room as we were laughing so hard to like compose ourselves. I was like crying. I was laughing so hard.
That's almost kind of like what I did to the mixer. I was like, that looks wrong.
Yeah, it was very, very similar. But ours, it was like an instant laugh. Where yours, we had to figure it out.
To figure out the hard way.
Yeah, but great movie though. But I'll never forget.
I was gonna say, did you go back and finish it?
Finished it. Fantastic movie, and he's very good in it. Number 2, Wolverine. Logan's number 1. X2. Then the Wolverine, and then I even liked Origins. Yeah. I think Deadpool was the only part that ruined that movie.
See, and even that one I might be ranking it, and I don't know if I've seen all of it. Totally.
Origins?
Yeah, I think I have, but
yeah, it's not. I mean,
it's not
the
crazy,
best one.
Yeah.
And then my number 1 is The Greatest Showman. It's a fantastic movie.
I have no doubt.
Just great.
We haven't seen the new one he was in. The one where he's the guy running for president.
Oh yeah, that looks really good too. Running Mate? No.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, something like that.
And it's not the Running Man, because I think that's a different movie. It is Hugh Jackman. And you know what? Even looking it up, it's probably not going to be one of the...
Runner.
Front Runner, yeah.
The Missing Link also came out with him. Zach Galifianakis.
Les Miserables.
Never seen that one.
Neither have I. He was in the tourism.
For the Australia.
Yeah.
Chappie. He was barely in it. That's why I didn't.
I was gonna say.
it.
I think the only scenes I've seen were him. And I'm like, what are you doing? He was in that Pan movie, I guess.
He was. Yeah, he was Captain Hook.
He was Blackbeard.
Or Blackbeard. Yeah, because Captain Hook was a good guy in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie was okay.
Okay.
Now that we've ranked our top Hugh Jackman movies, it's time to wrap up our episode with some news.
Clark Kent, just a mild-mannered reporter.
He doesn't want to be famous, and I'll make him infamous.
General, haven't you ever heard of freedom of the press?
I'm not a cop. I'm a reporter.
Gossip, rumors, panic in the streets. We're lucky.
Vicky Vale. I'm intrigued by Alex's giant bat story, so I've done some...
Oh, right. The Batman.
Nobody cares about Clark Kent taking on the Batman.
It is not. I resent that. Slander is spoken. In print, it's libel.
The police won't help. The press has to do the right thing.
You serious?
All right. First up on the docket is our new Geek News. Is going to be we're testing it out at the back.
Yeah. And maybe not as much.
Make it a flow from the start to the beginning of the movie, and then we'll wrap it up with some Geek News at the end.
Just some of like the big highlights from the week or 2 weeks or whatever.
So first one up is that Endgame broke a bunch of records. No shock there. I think it was, last I checked, there was like 16 records it broke. Something like that. It hit 356 million domestic, 866 million international, and a whopping 1.222 billion worldwide.
And that was like what, Monday when you put this on there?
That was
like as of
the end of Sunday, when the official count of the
end
weekend.
of Sunday.
Yeah.
I think now they're like international is already over 1 billion as of today's Wednesday. I think international is already over 1 billion, and domestic is already at like 5 or 6. So they're already pushing 2 billion by the second weekend.
I hope they beat Avatar.
Oh yeah, for sure. Titanic's going to be impossible because it was in theaters for 4 years.
Is Avatar the first one?
I think
Titanic's number one?
I think Titanic's number one because it was in theaters for like 3 or 4 years or something, I think.
But it's not that far off from, it's high, but it's not that far off from Avatar.
Right, it's definitely, as soon as this loads. Okay, that was an interesting number one.
Yeah, that is not correct. Just scroll all the way to the bottom.
Started at 20.
And this
which
might
is
not
crazy,
even
like
be the right list.
No, probably not. But naturally, it's a 2-page list.
That won't let you go to 2.
There we go. The crazy thing is, a lot of these movies are like the last 10 or 15 years. Besides the obvious.
Yeah, it'll definitely pass. Yeah, see,
I
think that is right.
So
Titanic
is
at
2 at 2.19 billion, which, okay, this is going to blow it out of the damn water then. And then Avatar's at 2.79 billion.
So it's got to hit 3. Close to 3, I guess. I mean, you could beat it. You want it to go over 3, I think.
For sure.
I want it to set the bar so high that no one will think it'll ever get past. And just because James Cameron doesn't like the superhero movies, I think it's just like that much better to beat both of his.
with his characters in it.
Yeah, that.
Which also she is gonna have the Gamora. Zoe Saldana. She's gonna be in like the top 5 billion movies. That's insane.
Well, I think she hits the top 5 though. If because she's in Infinity Wars, at least gotta be.
It's gonna be up there.
4. Yeah. I don't think it passed Force Awakens though, so it might get.
I think
down.
Force Awakens is 3.
Yeah, so it'd still be 5, and she's got 3 of them.
Yeah. So even if she doesn't win an Oscar or anything, she's totally set.
Yeah. We'll keep you updated.
Yes, that'll probably be a running tally. And then next up for news, Bond 25 has finally set a cast and crew, and their production is supposedly starting either soon or this month.
Yeah, and I heard Rami Malek.
He's playing the bad guy officially.
Officially playing.
Because I know we've talked about that in the past, where it's like always rumored, maybe. And the chick's back from Spectre.
Yeah, see, I wasn't a big fan of Spectre, but
it was good, but it wasn't.
Skyfall was very, very good.
I was saying, it wasn't Skyfall.
I don't know why he just didn't end it on it.
Probably should have.
Should have. I mean, he's had. I'll give him 2 really good ones. I really like Casino Royale.
So that's how you start it and just nail it.
Like, but then you go to Quantum of Solace was definitely the worst.
Forgettable. I don't remember a single thing that happened. I know they go to a desert.
It's one of like the first ever direct sequels to a Bond movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And then Skyfall, you can kind of almost put anywhere because it doesn't really sequel them. They don't really mention the past ones. And then Spectre tries to put them all together, but if they would have planned that earlier, it would have worked better. Exactly, I think it just
instead of just like, oh hey, it's doing.
Oh,
good.
by the way, all these guys were working with us. Just didn't work as well.
And Mission Impossible nailed that. where they're like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
hey, this guy is responsible for all of it.
All the rogue. Yeah, see, that worked. I don't know. And they weren't planning that.
No, not at all.
Because that was not in Fallout, though. That was in Rogue Nation that they said that. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the end of Rogue Nation where they're like, oh, no, it's this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, and kind of a little bit in Fallout when he's like, oh.
It's the same villain, so yeah.
He's like, oh, did he really do all that stuff? He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of.
Yeah, but they even set it up in the. Oh, I guess didn't James Bond at the end of Skyfall do a Spectre? I can't remember if they did. I don't think they did though. Did they have an end credit scene? I don't remember. I don't think so though.
I don't think there was an end credit scene. I think, but they just kind of heavily hinted like there's someone else out there.
Next up, Marvel is bringing Ghost Rider and Hellstrom to two live action series in 2020 on Hulu. Mm-hmm. So I wonder why Hulu though. They're having their own
because
they're doing too much on
Disney
their.
is about to own
they
it
are
because
about to own it.
Comcast is going to sell the rest of them to them.
So I wonder if they're gonna.
What is going on with the world?
And it's gonna be the same Robbie Reyes playing Ghost Rider.
Gabriel Luna.
Yeah, and I guess it's just gonna be a continuation from his story in Shield.
I'm okay with that.
So I wonder if when Shield finally ends, or
because he can open portals.
True. You'd think when they get Shield off of Netflix, it goes to Hulu instead of the Disney Plus, though, or both.
I don't think it'll go to both.
Because if you're gonna
first guess would be Disney Plus, but
if you're gonna continue it off,
Hulu probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah, if you're gonna continue it off,
if they're doing it then it'll go to Hulu.
And then you already got Agent Carter on there, on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
And then possibly pick up the Daredevil and all those for
whenever they can get those, probably, yeah. And then last up for news, Keanu Reeves reportedly has a major role in the Hobbs and Shaw movie. Didn't see that one. I mean, not surprised, but
he's Neo. it's
just
Rock's just like, I know a guy who could beat him.
I know the one person that we need. And no, he's not in Hawaii with my family.
Or he just
with a bunch of wrestlers. Like.
Or Idris Elba kicks a dog. He's like, you kick the wrong guy's dog.
See, it's like just meta enough for them to be like, yeah, throw it in there.
Throw it in there.
People are gonna love that.
Or I really want him to be Shane Falco again. Just randomly playing football in Hawaii.
Oh, hey, so you retired after. Well, Tooth Fairy.
Or you could do Johnny Utah Point Break. He's still an FBI agent.
There are so many things they could do. Because I think they're both Universal.
Probably, I don't know.
No, I think Point Break was Warner. I don't know. And now it looks like it's time to talk about some new trailers.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
First up, Gemini Man got a trailer. It's the Will Smith Looper movie, basically.
Yeah, clone assassin.
Yeah. New iRobot.
Yeah, it looks good though.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah,
I'm telling the de-aging technology is just getting more and more better.
Yeah, I mean, I'd see this. I don't know if I'd go in the theaters though.
It might not be like an opening weekend for sure.
It looks good though. For him being back as a leading man, it took a while.
Yeah. Bad Boys is a different story. I will be in theaters.
I will, yes. And then his last. Do we have it on here? No, his last. Aladdin trailer. We talked about it. Definitely seems like the genie.
Oh my god! It's 100% Hitch.
Hitchens. Alex Hitchens, aka the genie.
Even the way he said the line, I'm like, "Are we in Hitch?"
It's Hitch too. We're finally
waiting for it. We knew it would be a prequel.
But the next movie we actually got a new trailer for was Godzilla, and it's the final trailer.
You actually get there was a lot of
they keep
this is what
switching
they're doing.
It around where it's throwing me off on where
what
the scenes are at in the movie, and if he's gonna be fighting a bunch in the beginning and then disappears for a bit, or
this one made it seem like he's gonna have to fight
17 all at once at the end.
See the way it was, I thought everyone was looking up to the Alpha who was think it was Ghidorah, they said?
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, they're all fighting him, and then Godzilla has to fight him to finish him off.
Yeah.
To find a new outfit. Is what I kind of got. But like,
it looks like Mothra's a good guy.
Exactly. It's like, what's going on?
So, yeah.
What are they doing?
I don't know. I want to see this one in IMAX, though. It looks awesome.
Oh, yeah, that'll be an IMAX one. And then we also got a trailer for 21 Bridges, which didn't know much about this coming out. And
no.
The trailer kind of just dropped.
With Black Panther, Chadwick
Boseman.
As like a cop who hunts down cop killers.
Yes. I mean, that's like a perfect premise. It's like, all right, you got probably most people just on that.
Yeah. Looks good, though.
There's a lot more people in it, too.
I'm
blanking.
I haven't.
Me too.
This was
in front
couple
of
weeks ago.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of, or a couple, I'll say, maybe not a lot, a couple other big name actors in it. So this looks like an interesting one.
Next up, we got MIB International. We got a new trailer. Got a little more of the plot, like that she, like
that it's definitely the same continuity as
same. Yeah, you see J and K flashing her parents, but didn't flash her.
Forgot her.
So
and,
she
and the
was,
aliens still with her.
The aliens was in a room. I didn't get that. Yeah, but it looks good.
Yeah,
they throw in a lot of humor. It's like the men in black and women in black.
Oh, it's perfect.
Turns around, gives her the thumbs up.
He's probably gonna be the scene stealer in this movie for sure.
And then the little alien with them is the guy from Silicon Valley. You should have said the no before.
The way he's like saying his lines in this too, it's perfect. Like that deadpan comedy.
Yeah.
And then we also got a Netflix trailer for Murder Mystery. So it's basically Clue in the Bahamas.
With Adam Sandler.
Or Adam Sandler stumbled on a clue when he was on vacation.
Looks good though. I liked his last couple that he did on Netflix.
I was say his Netflix ones have been
the Do-Over,
much more well received. I will say
the Do-Over was good. I didn't watch that Sandy Wexler one. I tried to, and I just couldn't.
Couldn't get into it.
Yeah, couldn't get into it. But he's had some good ones on there, so I'll give this one a try. Then we got Krypton Season 2 trailer came out, and this comes out June 12th.
Mm-hmm. I think the first season's still on DC Universe.
I think they're going to keep it on there.
I think they will.
Yeah, because I don't think it wasn't on anything beforehand,
no.
so...
now it will be, so that'll be nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to watch that beforehand, but we get to see Lobo in the trailer, which... he's got like a Scottish-Irish accent, so... As long as he says the main man, I'll be fine.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't change too much else.
Yeah.
And then before or during, I think, Gotham season finale, or series finale, maybe, who knows, we got a Pennyworth trailer. Which that'll probably be another one where it's like, okay, we'll check it out if there's...
I think it's going to be good. This newest trailer looks good.
Especially because it's
kind of like reminds me of Agent Carter.
I was going to say, it's in that vein where it's like more in the past, not really about what everyone knows about.
Yeah, and we'll get a few DC characters thrown in there.
Oh, yeah, there'll be hints and like setups and stuff for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, Thomas Wayne is in it, so
yeah.
I mean, you don't really see much of him.
Ever.
Besides like 20 seconds before he dies.
Or Flashpoint. Yeah.
Right.
That one time he was Batman. It took almost 70 years for them to do that, though.
At least.
Yeah, but this looks, I mean, Agent Carter-esque, but even like darker. I wouldn't say darker, but like more mature.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it.
Epix.
Whatever it is. I don't even know what it is supposed to be called.
I'll forever call it Epix, just to piss people off.
It's the Epix show.
Yeah, but I'll give it a chance.
Yeah.
And then last up, we got Sonic the Hedgehog. Can't talk. What'd you think?
I don't know what to... Jim Carrey looks amazing.
He does.
He looks exactly how he looks exactly how I pictured the live action would work.
Sonic looks weird. Know what it is? I saw someone redo it with bigger eyes, and that was it. I mean, like the body is also just, it's just like
he's too tall.
too tall and like not even just like I don't know.
There's just something about it. Yeah.
The body would work, I think, if the head was bigger, and then
yes, and then the hair was more slicked back, not like just kind of flowing.
No, I'm fine with that. But the eyes, as soon as you see the eyes, though, like, because they're so beady in this, I think if they just made them bigger.
I almost gave away a huge spoiler for something that would have. Oh, that would have been terrible. But you know what I'm
blanking on what you were
from
spoil.
a movie that's on this list.
Oh, okay.
A certain scene where it's just a couple.
Oh yeah. I know exactly what you're gonna spoil now.
I cannot because then Warner Bros. I did not spoil it, Warner Brothers. I did not.
Yeah, but I think it's just he needs the bigger eyes. I saw some fan redo it and it looked fine.
Right. I saw another one where it was James Marsden in the driver's seat and next to a CG character. In this one, then it was a rabbit movie. I think it wasn't Peter Rabbit. It was the other one.
Oh, Hop.
Yeah, where it's like the same exact scene. Him on a highway driving next to a computer CG animal.
So he's definitely done it before.
Yeah.
All right. And also, before we wrap this up, we're going to talk about a few things coming
soon. Yeah.
Coming attractions. So we both saw Endgame, so keep an eye out for a review on that. If we haven't already posted it, probably post it after this.
Yeah.
To give some people some time to go see it.
And because that will be full of spoilers.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely full.
We're going to start it right off the bat on that one, I know. And then we also both got a Tim and Tony exclusive sneak peek at Detective Pikachu.
We did, yes. We got to see it early. Warner Brothers was screening it, and we got to go.
Can't really say anything about that, but I will say go see it.
Yes, definitely. May 10th, I believe it comes out.
Yes.
So that's probably when we'll post our review
on that with a bunch of spoilers. Maybe we'll wait till the weekend.
Maybe the weekend after, but definitely go see it. Would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, very good.
That's about all we can say on that.
And then our next episode, we are going to have guest Michael Kobe on for Bloodsport. So keep an eye out for that. And we won't go too many episodes ahead.
I think
we'll just go one episode.
Yeah, we'll go one.
And then
maybe we'll make a graphic of episodes beyond that, just to kind of make something up.
And then I'd like to call my Coca out on still not being on an episode.
Here you go. I'm going to call him out again. I saw him on Twitter talking to some other podcast, being like, "I'm ready to go, Coach." I'm like, I tweeted at him. I'm like, "What? Whoa!" This is interesting. This is developing.
Maybe
weird.
You're not invited anymore. We're just going to insult you every episode.
So, I'm always watching.
But yeah, we've had 6 different guests so far, and you are not one of them. And we've done one of your movies, Coca. Shame.
Yes, I'm also going to call out Chris because I'm pretty sure he's like, "Oh, you never asked me." I'm like, I did ask you. I might not have texted you. I asked you in person, and then we even asked you in person.
Said no.
You said absolutely not.
So that wraps up our episode. Hope you enjoyed our show today.
You can follow us on social media and our website, timandtonytalk.com. And remember, share this with your friends.
And make sure to join us next week for the Mild Manner Movie Review.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Thanks for listening. I'm Tim.
And I'm Tony. We are the Dynamic Duo.
Good night.